Hello and welcome along to the Bunch of Punts Betting Podcast, your specialist show for football long shot bets. Me and Matthew O'Regan will be going through the playoff second legs, the ones that are left. We've got lots of corners, lots of striker cards, lots of fouls, a certain team to win from behind, it went close last time, and a 960 to 1 Trixie. Let's get into it. Hello. No. Right. So, halfway stage. Well, we passed the halfway stage in one game. Sheffield United beat Bristol City 3-0 again, 6-0 in aggregate, but we've still got the rest of the playoffs to go. What do you reckon ahead of the second legs?
It's very finely poised, isn't it? I didn't watch all of them because I had a busy weekend at the football, but that Wycombe-Charlton was probably the worst game of football I've ever watched. And then Charlton-Stockport was, not Charlton-Stockport, Stockport-Leyton Orient was brilliant of what I watched. And then, yeah, just League Two was horror again. So I just think they're all very finely poised. Even Chesterfield, I don't think are out of it. So should be very intriguing second legs.
They better not be out of it, because we want them to go all the bloody way. That Leyton Orient Stockport game was terrible for the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had Stockport to win from behind, didn't we? And well, we got a bit of fortune that Orient went in front with that offside goal,
Yeah.
but then like 88th minute penalty or something silly. Yeah, sixes. Yeah, and he could have given away a penalty to Stockport as well. So annoying, but oh well, we got the second legs.
Yeah, second legs. As I say, Sheffield United already played last night. We're recording Tuesday, and we've got. This is probably my favourite looking game, I think. Actually, I love all the games, but betting wise, I'm excited for this one. Sunderland v Coventry. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so annoyingly, because I was on Sims last week, one night, 2 fouls at sixes, I think, or sevens, didn't bloody play, and then his replacement, Thomas Asante, got 2 fouls. So the angle was right, just the wrong player. But I've gone similar this week. I've gone Thomas Asante and Isidore both to make a foul at 2-1. Isidore's got a very average record. He's just shy of 1 a game, but he had 2 last game. And I could just see with Sunderland winning, he's going to try break up the play as much as he can and sort of just be a nuisance. And then the record, Coventry centre-backs seem to draw a lot of fouls. In recent games, they've drawn 2 fouls. This is from out-and-out strikers. The 1 foul was from Conway. Don't know if he's really that sort of striker. And then 2-3 games in a row, then 4-3-3. These are all the fouls they've drawn from strikers. So they draw a lot. Thomas Sante is along the same lines as Isidore. Average record, but had 2 in the last game. Strikers against Sunderland, I mentioned last time, they've now at 2-4, 2-2, 0-3 over the last 6. And again, 09 and he's either going to be Mepham or Ballard. I can just see them winning cheap fouls. And Cov go for sort of, I was going to say long throws, but I don't know if you've seen Sunderland have pushed the barriers in.
Yeah.
So when Coventry launch balls into the box, I can just see 09 and Mepham winning as many soft fouls as they can. So I think it's a really, really nice win, especially considering Asante's made 1.11 fouls per night. So that's the first one. Then I've gone Dan Neil and Milan Van. I'm not going to bother butchering his surname again, but the Coventry right back to make 2 fouls each at 10s. Neil's made a foul in 9 of his last 10 and 2 fouls in 3 of the last 10, including 2 in the last game. With Super Sub, a centre mid for a team playing Coventry has made at least 2 fouls in 11 of the last 12. I didn't catch the game, but apparently Milan struggled with Lafitte and was booked for his 1 foul. He's made a foul in 16 of his last 18, so it's very good for fouls again. And again, like I said, he's against Lafitte or Watson, who will come off the bench, and both very direct. So for 2 players who consistently hit 1 fouls, I'm sort of just pushing the boat out a bit for 2 fouls at 10s, because I think very, very lovely price. And then finally, I've gone a little bet builder, 11 plus shots for Coventry, 7 plus goal kicks for Sunderland, and 19 plus throws for Coventry at 3.75. There's not really much to go off because it's very rare you get a game state like this. Cov hit it in the first leg. I know that's at home, but they're chasing the game, so I can just see Cov, they're not afraid to have a pot from distance. They're really good at racking up throws and stuff, so I can just see this sort of situation really helping Cov. So yeah, it's over 10.5 shots for Cov, over 6.5 goal kicks for Sunderland, and over 18.5 throws for Coventry at 3.75.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, I've leaned into the game state a lot for my picks, and I just like Coventry corners. I'm doing over 7.5, over 8.5, over 9.5. They're all with Paddy Power and Betfair, best price. A point on the over 7.5 at 11-2. And then half a point on the others, and then a quarter of a point on 11 or more and 12 or more with Sky Bet. There's 25 to 1 and 40 to 1. Been nibbled in a little bit since yesterday morning, but I still think it's worth backing. And you already talked about Coventry's long throw. Long throw, if they're looking to use it regularly, it's not a surprise that they're racking up corners under Frank Lampard. They have got a lot. I think they average over 5.5 per game under Lampard. And they've had at least 5 in about 60% of those 30 games. In the first leg, they had 10. And considering how late Sunderland took the lead and how quickly Radoni equalised after the first goal, considering it was level, I know Coventry were at home, I was still surprised by how many they racked up, and they've hit double figures in 5 of Frank Lampard's 30 league games. That's including the 10 in the first leg. So, and when I was scrolling through, tallying them all up, unsurprisingly, games that they concede early in, those are usually the ones they rack up the most corners in, and this is unique second leg of the playoffs in the sense that they are at the halfway stage, cliched halfway stage, so there's still another 90 minutes to go, and we've got them trailing. So I just think corners are worth tackling at the Stadium of Light, and I really like the high lines, even though they have shortened. I still expect them to shorten a little bit. 5 corners was even money yesterday, so shortened a little bit, and I think they'll continue to shorten. And because I think there's going to be lots of corners, I think it makes sense combining some corners with their main centre back in terms of shots and goals to have some shots. Bobby Thomas, he's averaged 1.2 shots per game, scored 5 times this season, but across his last 14 appearances, he's had 2 or more shots on 9 occasions and 3 plus on 3 occasions, which is staggering for a centre back. And on Betfair, it's bigger than Paddy Power, even though they are the same prices. I don't know why. If you want a real silly punt, you can combine Bobby Thomas to have 3 shots and Coventry to have 10 corners. You're getting 130 to 1 on Betfair. It's only 108 to 1 on Paddy Power. It was 125 to 1 on Sky Bet. I think it's shortened to 85 to 1. And it's a lot shorter on 365. But Sky, Betfair, Paddy Power's price is all worth taking. I've had a tenner, so 0.2 points on that, just as a punt. But I was just saying to you, Matthew, weren't I, before we start recording, I wish there was another way I was confident, because I saw on Twitter a really interesting way of going for this. It was in Arsenal's trip to PSG, is having Arsenal to have said amount of corners, I think 6, and both the centre backs to have 2 shots. And I put that in the bet slip yesterday. It was 20 to 1. It shortened a bit, and I just found it too finicky. But Kitchen, who is the other centre back, he's averaging 0.5 shots a game. He was even money to have 1. It might be worth considering Coventry centre back shots because they have so many set piece opportunities. You just have to look at the
And Sunderland don't have
shots.
much height, do they? Like '09's 5'7", 8" in he for a centre back, and Ballard last game. I don't know how tall Ballard is, but I think Cov can really. I think it'll be Kitching on '09's. A Kitching shot could be a very good way in.
Yeah, great point. Because they are the tiny young side, aren't they, Sunderland? Ballard was an absolute colossus, but I am a bit concerned about his fitness, to be honest, because that was his first game since mid-end Feb, I think.
Yeah.
Thrown straight back into the deep end, quick turnaround. He's asking a lot. I'm just checking what price Kitchen
But
shot price are.
even if Ballard does play, he'll be tasked with dealing with Thomas, won't he? And then it'll probably be '09 on Kitchen.
Yeah, so Kitchen is odds against for 1 shot with 365, 7 to 1 for 2, and he's 20 to 1 for 3. You know what? I'm going to chuck them in the record. That's Kitchen 2 and 3 shots, half a point on each with 365. Based on what we just said, I think that's a nice way in. His shooting stats aren't as good as Bobby Thomas, but if Bobby Thomas is the main threat, like you say, that surely
Yeah.
means Ballard's going to pick up Thomas. So could be an opportunity for Kitchen. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, logically, yeah, because you've also got to remember they've got Thomas Asante and Hadi Wright are decent threats from it, so they'll be dealt with by, like, say, Isidore or players like that. So yeah, I definitely think Kitching, it's a smart way in to sort of look who they won't pick up, really, if you know what I mean. And I think Kitching will be the one they leave out of the other threats.
Yeah, boy. Right, I'm just putting them in the record now. Next game, it'll be Wednesday. Stockport v Leyton Orient. You've got a card bet for this one, haven't you?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really feisty game, I think, because after the controversy of the first leg, there's been a lot of talk after the game, and I think, yeah, you've got to get cards inside. The ref, unless I've got it wrong, it's Dean Whitestone. He's absolutely shocking. He could be on the other game, but he's on one of these games, and I just can't stand him as a ref. But Wootton, I'm on Kyle Wootton card at 7s. I was on him last game, and his foul record's just ridiculous. He's 2.46 fouls per 90, and he's had 3 or more fouls in 4 of his last 5. His card record is very poor, but it's like the Beto situation. There's that many fouls. I just think he's got to be booked soon. I know a lot of them are just soft little nudges off the ball and everything from a goal kick, but I just think with playoffs everything's heightened. All it takes is a bit overzealous with a jump or something. I just think sevens for someone averaging 2.5 fouls per 90 is very, very big. And in the 2 league games against Orient this season, he made 5 and 4 fouls and then 2 in the last. So there's obviously something about Orient centre backs that draws him in. And I just think, and with a striker as well, it sounds stupid, but it's not just fouls that you get booked for. There's a lot of time. A lot of strikers will be tasked with stopping the quick free kick from centre backs. You got the goal card potential. So for a player like that likes to be a bit nasty, a bit shithousery, I think it's a very nice price at sevens for a card with 365.
Yep, I like it a lot. It's so frustrating in the first leg that it was just one foul away from that bet builder. I'm doing exactly the same bet as I did in the first leg. Stockport to win from behind 11.5 this time, bet Victor. Half a point again. Same reasons. It's a lot shorter, but that's just the fact that Stockport are at home. I actually like Stockport to win this game at a shade of odds on. I know these two batshit crazy. I didn't want to call the semi-final because I didn't know how the leg at Brisbane Road would go, but Stockport's home form is really, really good, and Leyton Orient's record against the top 6 isn't the best, so I'd be confident now Stockport have drawn the away leg, even though it was controversial, that they're going to get to the final. But when Charlie Kelman plays for the opposition, there's always a chance that they've got a sting in the tail at Leyton Orient. So it's just a bit of a punt. Each, including the last game, not including the last game, sorry, each of Stockport's previous 5 games, I think they conceded the first goal and went on to get a result. That includes the last game, actually, and they went within minutes of winning. So I think it's worth carrying on. They just don't know when they beat him, and with them playing at home, if they did concede first, I've got every faith in them to turn it around. So Stockport to win from behind, half a point at 11.5. Victor, what's the next game after that? It'd be the Thursday.
Yeah, Charlton Wickham.
Ugh, that first leg was awful.
Yeah, it's one of the only ones I could actually watch because I was on the way back from Birmingham on the Sunday after a heavy weekend, and then my phone was nearly dead. I was just thought I'd pop in, see my mates for a bit in London and watch the game, and it's fucking genuinely, I think, the worst game of football I've ever watched. It was just constant fouls, constant this. And then the ball would go out of play. You know when the ball goes out of play and the goalie will like run and pretend they're going to get it and just run past the ball and let it go out.
Yeah.
The Wickham goalie was doing that in the 85th minute. I'm like, you're at home, you're drawing 0-0. I didn't, and then he caught the ball and it jumped like does as Pickford where he rolls in it. I was like, I just don't get Wickham under Mike Dodds. I think he's one of the most pragmatic, boring managers I've ever seen in my life, and that's sort of similar with the angles I'm going for this game. I think Dodds is going to set up and frustrate Charlton, look to score from set pieces. So Caleb Taylor, 22-1 on Paddy Power, half a point for Scott. I tipped it on the pod a lot. No, I didn't. I forgot to tip it on the pod, but I posted it on Twitter. He nearly scored with a header last game. Wickham's one of Wickham's only chances. Sort of back post, he sort of headed it across, and it was not blocked on the line, but sort of the defender weren't there, probably going in. And he's about 6'5", I think. Ridiculous shot record. He's had at least one shot in 17 of his last 19, including including 2 goals in his last 6. And like I said, they were so bad and so pragmatic last leg. I think their only way of scoring is through a long throw or corner. So 22-1 for their main goal threat from set pieces. It's good. So I'm having half a point on that with Paddy Power. And then the return of the King Kone, but not as we know it. So he threw his weight about last week. He made 4 fouls and picked up a booking. Potentially could have been sent off. And he just cut an isolated figure, and frustration got the best of him. And I could see it again this week in a heated battle with Gillespie and Jones. He's averaging 2.14 fouls per away game, and that record has gone up since Dodd's appointment. He just can't seem to get the best out of him. He throws everyone back and just leaves it to Kone and feeds him scraps basically. And he's just going to have to challenge Gillespie and Jones, and I could just see him throwing his weight about. So yeah, I've gone him to make 3 fouls at 3.75 with Paddy. And then also he's 5 for a card on 365, so I've taken that. And final bet for that game, Adam Reach foul at 3.25. He doesn't have the best record throughout the season, but he's made, with Super Sub, it's landed for the last 5, including last game where he made the foul himself. He should be set up left wing back again. a lot of Charlton's play goes down their left with not Doherty, Edwards and Campbell. So Charlton's right side don't get seen as much, but Thierry Small should be back fit and he's very dangerous, likes to cut inside it. So I just think 3.25 for a player in a defensive position to make a foul, it just seems too big. So I'm having a play on that again, a point on that with 365.
No, lovely stuff. I like that a lot. I've only got one bet left, and it's for Friday night's game. Walsall against Chesterfield, and it's at Walsall. Walsall shocked everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean me by dicking Chesterfield 2-0. I didn't see the game. I know the first goal was a pen and the 1-2-0. I think the consensus at Walsall is very, very nervous considering they squandered, what was it, 12 how far clear were they? 12 points at the turn of the year at the top of the division and they finished fourth.
Yeah.
So nobody's confident that Walsall can hold on to this lead on Friday night. And I was on the fence about this for ages. The referee's Ben Toner. And if you listened before, he's brilliant for booking keepers. I forgot how many he's booked. I did find out the other week, but I forgot. I would hazard a guess at like 1 in 2. So keeper in half of his appearances this season. Now, Walsall are at home, which isn't ideal, but the referee is. And Simpkin's a shithouse, isn't he?
Yeah, he reminds me of Pickford a bit. Like he'll claim the ball and he would like fall down slowly on it and like turn around and mock the fans. They were fuming, throwing stuff at him, like lighters, Coke bottles. I saw a video of him, Bradford away, celebrating, sliding in front of the cop at Bradford. He's a young goalie on loan from Stoke, and he's going to the top. He's very good, and he just knows how to shithouse, and I can see him from minute one doing it because Walsall, like I said, nervous. He's just going to be on it.
Right, so I have had a point myself on him to be carded 365 5.5 92. It's a lot short. Well, I say a lot shorter. I was hoping for 7-1. I thought that'd be a fair price. He's only got 3 cards this season. Ladbrokes and Coral, I've just got it up here. 17-2 they've gone, and I think Sky Bet and William Hill will probably go bigger. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
yeah.
So they should be coming out in the next couple of days, but I'll tip it 5.5 on and this price available. Obviously, I can't tip Ladbrokes Coral because they're fucking pony. But I was just thinking then, do you think it's worth doing it with, for example, Chesterfield draw or win? That's 8-1, or the Chesterfield win 16-1.
I was literally going to say that, like Chesterfield, or you can do winning, you can do Chesterfield to win by 1 goal. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can do that in a combination, but Chesterfield to win by 1 goal and Simpkin to be booked.
Yeah. Or
Double
we're
chance.
getting really into the weeds. What about result first half Chesterfield?
I was actually going to, because someone I know was on it, just stupid long shot yesterday for Bristol City, just in case. And I think that's because the only ways, I can't really see him being booked at 2-0, could be famous last words. But yeah, if Chesterfield get an early goal, I think that's a very nice way in, first half Chesterfield and Simpkin card.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna tip it 365 on the nose at 9-2. Keep your eyes peeled because Sky, I'm pretty confident they'll go bigger, and then William Hill will follow suit because it's usually how it works. And you might not be able to get on with Sky, but everyone can get on with William Hill. You can just go to the shops, and the terminals in the shop are the same price as online. So I'll be tracking it at 5.5. Keep your eyes peeled for the other prices. They'll be coming out tonight or tomorrow. And if you're a bit braver than me, just think about how the game would need to go for Simpkin to be booked and try them combinations. Because you can get Chesterfield to win and Simpkin to be booked at 16s. Chesterfield to win at half time, Simpkin to be booked at 20s. Chesterfield double chance and Simpkin card at 8s. All worth considering if you want to squeeze a bit more value out of it. But I think I'm just going to wait for William Hill's price to see if that's a bit bigger. Right, where are we going next?
Yeah, so I've got a few more bets from the League Two players and then some bets from Spain and Scotland. So are you done with your bets now?
Yeah, that's everything for me.
Okay, so I'll just reel off my final few. So the final player bets, I've gone in Wimbledon County and Walsall Chesterfield. I've just gone both away teams, so Notts County and Chesterfield, just their corners. Both teams have got decent enough record, but they're just, as I said, they're chasing game against two sides who will look to shithouse and sort of sit back a bit. So I've gone Over 4 corners each for County and Chesterfield at 3.66, point on that. Over 6 corners each for County and Chesterfield at 16.87, half a point on that. And then over 8 corners each at 120, half a point on that. So I just think game state helps. Again, it's very like playoffs come once a season, so a lot of times stats go out the window, especially second leg. So I just think Chesterfield and County, they're the two teams I'd rather be chasing in terms of betting wise, and it suits, and yeah, I just see them racking up corners, so I've gone for them. And then Dundee versus Ross County, the glamorous tie on Wednesday night in Scotland. It's a huge game, bottom table. Ross County in the relegation playoff, just 3 clear of the bottom and 2 points off safety with 2 games left. A win can see them leapfrog Dundee. And yeah, both teams in horrible form, so I can see it being a huge, scrappy game. The ref is Nicky Walsh, who has potential, but been a bit kaishard recently. But he has been known to flash them. I think he showed 4 reds in one game this season in Europe. And yes, I've gone over 2 cards each at 6.5 and over 3 cards each at 29s, half a point on the 29s and 1 point on the 6.5. I just think 2 teams at the bottom, it's got real potential to get nasty and scrappy. Finally, from Dundee to Madrid or suburbs of Madrid, Getafe versus Bilbao. I've gone Omar Alderte. It says it in the name, quite dirty. No, 2 fouls at 4.33. Over the last 17, he's made a foul in 14. But he's up against Sanadi, whatever he's called. Because this bet came to my attention because it was like, because I mentioned before on the pod, I don't really watch much football outside of England or America. And it's just, by watching Bilbao United, this player just looking at stats for it, he just caught my eye. Sandadi, he 2.98 fouls drawn per 90 over the last 30. He makes 2.55. So I just think he just brings out the worst in defenders. So Alderte 2 plus fouls at 4.33, and then I've had half a point on Alderte and Samadi to be booked at 11, half a point on that with 365. And as I said, he makes 2.5 fouls per 90, and just think a proper centre back and striker battles. It's very good odds for both of them to be booked, especially considering it's in Spain.
No, I like them picks a lot. Right, that's everything, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I've got a rogue long shot just to throw in because you're going corners in the League Two games, and I'm going corners in the Championship game. I wasn't gonna, but over 8 corners, so at least 9 corners in each of 3 games. Trixie, that's the bet, and I placed it, so I can't remember what the odds were. Shit.
What, for all 3 away teams, 9 plus corners?
Yep.
Don't know. It's
12 times 10 times 8. Well, 960. Trixie, I've had a fiver, so 0.1 of a point just in case. It'll be all over tonight when Coventry only get 2 corners, but it would be one hell of a ride. Right, well, that's it. Oh, recap the bets, please.
Yeah, so Sunderland, Coventry, I've gone Thomas Asante and Isidore Fowl at 3s. Neil and Van Elwijik, 2 fouls at 10s. With bet 3 to 5. Then Cov Sunderland, same game. 10.5 shots for Cov, 6.5 goal kicks for Sunderland, and 18.5 throws for Coventry at 3.75. Stockport Orient, I've gone Wootton Card at 7s. Alton Wickham, I've gone half a point on Taylor to score 22 to 1 with Paddy Power. Kone 3 fouls at 3.75 with Paddy Power. Kone Card at 4 to 1, bet 365. Adam Reach foul at 3.25. Dundee, Ross County have gone over 2 cards each at 6.5 and over 3 cards each at 29s. Half a point on the 29s. Getafe Athletic have gone Alderte 2 fouls at 4.33 and Aldarte and Samadadi to be booked at 11s, half a point. And then Chesterfield and Notts County to hit 5 corners each at 3.66, half a point on them 7 corners each at 16.87, and half a point on them 9 corners each at 120.
Lovely stuff. Sunderland, Coventry. I've gone over 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, and 11.5 corners. I've had a point on over 7.5. That's at 11 to 2 with Paddy Power. Half a point on over 8.5 and 9.5. They're both with Paddy Power. 8.5 is 9 to 1. 0.5, 16 to 1. And then 11 plus, 12 plus, as it appears on Sky Bet. I've had a quarter of a point on each of those. 25 to 1 and 40 to 1 respectively. Same game, I've done Bobby Thomas 3 shots, Coventry 10 plus corners. That's Betfair. 130 to 1. I've had 0.2 points on that. It's over 100 to 1 with Paddy Power worth taking, and I think just under 100 to 1 with Sky Bet worth taking. And then we've added Kitchen to. Right, that's everything, isn't it?
Other than your long shot Trixie.
Oh shit! Yep, long shot Trixie. Matthew's done corners in County Chesterfield in League Two. They're both chasing the game, and Coventry are obviously chasing the game against Sunderland tonight. So you can combine all three teams over 8 corners, 9 or more, 365. I think it was 960. I didn't write the odds down, but I've had 0.1 of a point on that Trixie, just in case. Total stake will be 0. No, I've had 0.1 of a point total stake. So whatever that is, I've had £5 basically in total. Just in case. That's everything now, isn't it? Well, look, right. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure as always.
Pleasure. And we'll be back Thursday or Friday, I think, for the week. Whenever?
Yeah.
Whenever. For the weekend football. Best of luck with your midweek picks, and we'll catch you on the Flippity Flip.